in partnership with Pantheon, one of the things that we're doing is we've launched our official Drupal module. So this kind of walks through it. It's all hosted on Drupal.org, and we'll demonstrate what the power of that, and that the Lytics platform, understanding the foundation, is incredibly essential, in that sort of like enterprise level scalability, that turnkey real time sort of capability is all there. It's all powering this. But for a website manager, for a Drupal user, most of the management now exists directly in your CMS. So if I jump over to Drupal as an example, um, we'll install the Lytics module. We won't force you to go through that process, but you go to extend, you'll configure. In the case of Lytics, you just drop in an auth token, you put those credentials in, you save it. It's going to automatically do the installation for you. So you don't have to mess with the tag manager. You don't have to do configuration. At that point, Lytics is going to help you start to track information, build those behaviors, build those interest scores, all of that kind of information, like we just demonstrated on the Umami site. And then there's kind of three aspects out of the box that we've surfaced directly inside of Drupal to help you activate those insights and those audiences. We'll start one with, we have a very powerful sort of feature-rich web personalization SDK that allows you to surface widgets, modals, inline sort of lead captures, all of the different kind of quick campaigns, we'll call them, that you could ever imagine. We've moved all of that tooling directly inside of Drupal. So I can go here as a Drupal user, I can add a Lytics widget. We'll just put in some sample information. They'll choose a type of widget. Is it a lead capture? Is it a promotional message? Let's say I want to do a lead capture to unknown users. Um, I can say the headline is, "We'd love to meet you." Save 20% on sign up, whatever the particular offer is. And then within this tool, you can actually go and define, who do you want to target specifically. So I want to just target, known users or highly engaged users, or in this case, anonymous profiles. You can define where it lives and how it lives. So a number of kind of domain rules to say, I only show it on the contact page or the home page, whatever that may be. For now, we'll just leave that blank, but just know that you can configure that. A number of different layout options. Do you want it to be a modal? Do you want it to be a slide out? Do you want to use an image, not an image? Do you want to surface a content recommendation? In this case, we'll just keep it pretty simple. We'll just do one in the bottom left. All of the branding controls, you can customize it. So the kind of TLDRs, you can control all of the things for this particular campaign down to the specific data that you want to collect. So I'll add an email address, and I'll add just a first name to keep it simple. And once I've done that configuration, ultimately what's going to happen is, if I hit test widget, it's going to pop up and give me an example of what this campaign is going to look like right here directly inside of Drupal. So I can see that in this case, it's super simple, just does my message, collect email. All I have to do now is go to the top right corner, hit published. And as soon as I do that, it's going to surface on my website in the way that it's been configured to that specific audience based on that Lytics profile. So option one is these really, really highly flexible, easy, low lift, low risk sort of widgets to push promos, to push lead capture, to push kind of anything that you could dream of. Second, based on top of our sort of interest engines that we've introduced, is the Lytics content recommendation engine. So because we understand what users are interested in, we understand what content's available, we can actually very, very accurately make individual recommendations for your visitors and surface those to your browser, to their site, to drive engagement. So if I doing that is as simple as adding a block, so I can scroll down my structure, I can place my block. In the Lytics module, we'll also surface a Lytics content recommendation block. It's going to give you a few different examples or questions to answer. Which interest engine do I want to use? We didn't touch too much on this, but Lytics actually allows you to configure multiple interest engines. So by default, it's just going to be a general content, but you might do a product interest engine, or maybe you have some other unique use case where you want to make that recommendation, make those affinity scores a little bit different. All of that tooling lives within Lytics. You'll choose the collection of content. We surface some default collections, but a collection of content is just a segment of content. So we allow you to control sort of from what group of content can we make a recommendation. Maybe it's recent content, maybe it's about a specific article, maybe it's dairy related in your case, Steve. That all is configurable. In this case, we'll just do content with images, choose a number of recommendations, a few different options, how and where you want to target it. We'll just say it on our articles, recipes, you save it. And then now when a user browses the site, if they go to an article, you'll see a recommendation. In this case, we haven't filtered anything down. We haven't filtered by language. So we can clean some of that kind of stuff up. But you'll see this recommendation specific to me, specific to Mark and my interest, the content that I've engaged with in real time in just a matter of seconds. And then the kind of final piece, which becomes really powerful, is okay, maybe I want to change my homepage image. Maybe I want to surface a specific message for somebody who's donated, for somebody who's donated a small amount, for somebody who's on a recurring donation. We've added on a module to the smart content module, which allows you to then go in and build a smart content segment based on Lytics attributes. So if I go into just a predefined example of a smart content segment and I go to edit, you can see in this, I should probably build a new one. In this list of conditions, you'll see all the ones that you've been used to seeing, but you'll also then see all of the different attributes that have been surfaced by Lytics. So, things like your scores, things like your interest, the last page visited, UTM parameters that they have interacted with, just a variety of out of the box attributes, along with any attribute that you've passed custom. So you can go in here super easily and just say, I want to target people with a momentum score greater than 50, just like we did in our UI, or in this case, a interest in chocolate, and then customize that homepage. Once you have that segment created, it's as simple as then just going into structure once again, adding that decision block. We will do it inside of the header, do our decision block. You'll choose that segment, and then you can configure which blocks you want to hide and show based on that sort of segment membership. And again, in real time, we're going to get that updated profile, surface that to smart content, and then hide and show particular sort of experiences specific to the user. So really trying to cover all of the bases on simple widgets out of the box. Just throw a campaign out there, do a header. Don't have to really change your content. Don't have to have this rich strategy to start to build that first party data set. Content recommendations are fantastic for driving engagement. And then for the kind of more sophisticated user, you want to do more sort of customization, smart content, and beyond is available there to help your needs. So that's a very quick, it's difficult to demonstrate all of the things that Lytics can do in 10 or 15 minutes, but hopefully this sort of gives you a taste. And I think I'll let you kind of take over, Steve, but the most exciting thing about all of this is it's risk-free. So Lytics with Pantheon is offering Lytics to our developer partners for free, risk-free. You can sign up online. There's no obligation. We've got a growing community help support kind of inside of Slack. So we want to make this as easy to use as possible and as accessible as possible, because at the end of the day, we love our technology and we want it to power all of your experiences